Alright people, today is just a weird day for Nintendo. At 6 a.m. this morning they announced an alarm clock. Now they have announced some sort of new weird mysterious beta test for a Switch Online expansion pack members. I don't know what's going on. We're going to look through this and see what is actually happening because this is very weird. They're telling us it's a beta test or playtest program, but we don't know what we're actually playtesting. Something weird's going on. Alrighty folks, a good Wednesday evening. If you're watching this on a Wednesday evening, I imagine this will be very short-lived. Like, this is very short-lived speculation because we might know what this is by tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow when this eventually starts going out here. But reading from Nintendo of America on Twitter here, they just tweeted out at 3 p.m. Pacific, we will be performing a test related to a new feature for Nintendo Switch Online on Nintendo Switch. Starting at 8 a.m. Pacific on October 10th, existing Switch Online Plus expansion pack members will be able to apply to participate on a first-come, first-serve basis here. And this is the image here. It just says Nintendo Switch Online Playtest Program. And that is like all the information in the tweet. However, we're going to read through this little blurb here on the official Nintendo website and see if we can glean any other information from this, because this is so weird. The possibilities are actually endless. I have some ideas for what it could be, but we'll read this first and then we'll come back to that. About Nintendo Switch Online Playtest Program. We will perform a test called Nintendo Switch Online Playtest Program related to a new feature for the Switch Online service offered for the Nintendo Switch. We will recruit people to participate in this test from customers who have an active Switch Online Plus expansion pack membership. So you have to have the upgraded like N64 tier to actually try this out, which I think is maybe interesting, but it also might just be like an exclusivity thing. Like they want to like give their highest tier members something to kind of, you know, incentivize being a Switch Online expansion pack member. Maybe it'll be a feature that goes out to everybody, but they just want to kind of have this playtest be exclusive for the upper tier members. Customers will need to download exclusive software to their own Nintendo Switch system in order to participate. Please review the application guidelines below before applying. So that right there is also very important. This will be a special application on your Switch. This will be something entirely unique that, you know, you're not going to go into the NES or the N64 app and have something new happen. This is going to be a separate application, which is very weird. Okay, application qualifications. You have to have expansion pack. You must be 18 years of age. Must be in Japan, US, UK, France, Germany, Italy, or Spain. How to apply, it's a link. It says playtest is expected to accept as many as 10,000 participants, which really is not that many. So the application link is going to go up tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time. I'm really hoping I get in. I really hope so. I'm not sure if there's going to be like any sort of NDA for this though. They don't mention an NDA here. They don't mention like any sort of like, we're going to try to keep this secret. I'm sure Nintendo knows that would be a futile effort, right? Like any weird new Nintendo thing is going to leak out if they are even trying to hide it. So maybe there's like, yeah, there's no point even trying to hide that. Recruitment period, October 10th at 8 a.m. to Tuesday, October 15th, although we will close this application process early if the number of accepted participants has reached its limit. So I imagine that'll be closing sooner than October 15th. And then this is also interesting. Playtest period, Wednesday, October 23rd, 6 p.m. to Tuesday, November 5th at 5 p.m. PST or 4:59. That is interesting because November 5th is when the Nintendo investor meeting is, which is kind of what a lot of us in the Switch 2 speculation community are viewing as like the cutoff date, the end of the line for some sort of Switch 2 announcement. It'll happen before then. So the fact that it is ending that day, probably a coincidence, right? Like I truly don't think this has anything to do with Switch 2. I'll say that right now, but it is conspicuous timing, right? Like this is very weird, especially, you know, we already had Alarmo this morning. Now we're having this, which I think for a lot of us might even be more exciting, or it probably will be more exciting than Alarmo, because Alarmo is very niche. Like it's an alarm clock, right? This is something that could potentially affect everyday use of the Nintendo Switch. But what could it actually be? Well, I have a couple of ideas. I'm really not sure if these are likely, but I'm just going to throw them out there. You guys can agree or disagree with me. So the first idea I had is maybe because it's a playtest program, because they're actually trying to test servers or something, maybe they're adding some sort of new, like, maybe like rollback netcode or something to the online experience for the classic games. That'd be very forward-thinking of Nintendo. I haven't had too many issues with my connection when playing, like, you know, N64 games online or NES or SNES games online. But maybe they're really trying to improve the actual online play experience with something like rollback netcode. I'm not like an online network code expert, right? But I know rollback is a huge thing in like the fighting game community. So maybe it's going to be something like that. They're trying to just upgrade their Switch Online kind of experience for those games. That could be a thing. And I will say, like, while I don't think this inherently has anything to do with Switch 2, I do think it is probably them kind of getting ready for Switch 2. Like, whatever this is will be on the Switch 2. So they're doing it now to kind of just get it out of the way. So that way when the Switch 2 comes out, it's just there day one. So it could be something like that. Maybe they're trying to upgrade their servers or something along those lines. It could also be something actually new and exciting. I was thinking about the possibility of something like actually new, like a new piece of software releasing for Switch Online. Be that a new game like F-Zero 99, or be that another like old console like DS or GameCube. And it is a little funny because we didn't get a September Direct this year. Normally September Direct around the anniversary of NSO, which came out back in 2018 September. Normally around this time we get some sort of big NSO kind of draw in, right? Last year it was F-Zero 99. Years prior it was N64. One year it was Mario 35, which was announced in September. It came out in October. So it is normal that around this time we get some sort of NSO changes. But this is the first time they've ever done anything like this. So I guess it makes sense. Like, maybe if we had had a September Direct, this probably would have been in that. But yeah, the first thing I think is maybe they're just trying to upgrade their netcode or something. But I don't think that's, like, exciting. But also, most people aren't going to make a big deal out of this. Only the hardcore Nintendo fans. So maybe it really isn't that big of a deal, right? Maybe it is a pretty simple thing like that. But my next idea is a very optimistic one. But what if this is something like a GameCube NSO? But what if there's, like, a big asterisk on that? What if because they don't want you downloading, you know, gigs and gigs of GameCube data to your app, because the way Switch Online works right now is if you have the NES app, you have every NES game. If you have the N64 app even, you have every N64 game downloaded to your Switch. With GameCube, that'd be a little bit of a tall order, right? Like, that'd be a tall ask to have that many GameCube games downloaded to your Switch at all times if you have the app installed. Maybe there's some weird stuff going on here where, like, it'll be streaming. I don't want to say that. I don't want to will that into existence. But maybe they'll do, like, GameCube NSO streaming. Frankly, they could even do, like, streaming in general. Maybe they're going to try to branch into that where you can be able to stream actual, like, Switch games. I mean, that's definitely possible. I don't know if that's something Nintendo really wants to pursue. We have seen some cloud versions of games on the Switch, but none from Nintendo. So maybe it could be something like that. I don't really know. And then my friend Abram from Lost in Cult and Backlog Banter threw out the idea. Maybe it's not necessarily a new game or like a group of like old games. They say in the thing it's a new feature related to Switch Online. Maybe it's the coveted trophy system. Maybe this is going to be some sort of trophy system that you're going to be able to test and play around with. And that would be incredible. I personally, as much as I want a trophy system on Switch, I have made multiple videos over the past like half decade talking about how much I want trophies on Switch. I've kind of given up, I'll be honest, especially now that we have like the reward icons and stuff for Switch Online for the for your little profile icon. I feel like that in a way kind of replaced what trophies would be for Nintendo, but maybe it could be that. I mean, they're saying it's a new feature. A new feature isn't rollback netcode. A new feature isn't GameCube NSO or even like a new 99 game. A new feature is something like trophies. So maybe it's something like that? I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I really have no idea what this could be, but it's very interesting, very exciting, and it's just nice. Once again, I was saying this a couple days ago. It's nice that there's stuff happening, you know? It has been so quiet for so long, for like the past 2 months, ever since that partner showcase, really. And then, yeah, there was all the hubbub about the Switch 2 maybe happening in September that I did believe. I was wrong about that. I will take the L on that. But now that we're in October, we're getting Alarmo, which, I already pre-ordered, so I'll expect a video on that on its amiibo on the other channel. So expect a video on that. And now we're getting this mysterious new Switch Online playtest program that also coincidentally ends the day of their investor meeting, which is also the day that most people are still expecting, or we're still expecting the Switch 2 to be revealed by then, which is that's probably a coincidence, but maybe it's something. And it's worth noting too, the playtest doesn't start until Wednesday, October 23rd at 6 p.m. So they're even giving it a week after Mario Party to kind of space it out. So this week, the Alarm was announced, and we're getting the playtest sign-up for this thing. Next week, Mario Party comes out. We'll probably also get Mario and Luigi previews next week, I imagine. Then the week after, we have whatever this weird playtest thing is, and then maybe from there, we get Switch 2. Man, I'm just trying to speculate, man. So this is exciting. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think this could possibly be? I might be off base with all of what I said. I really have no idea. It's hard to predict, but they are saying it's a new feature, so out of the 3 things I talked about, honestly, I guess rollback netcode would be like that's a feature, technically, but also I want trophies. So I really hope this is actually like trophies or something, but we will see. It might end up being something very disappointing. That is also very possible. Nintendo fans have a habit of hyping things up when they shouldn't be hyped up. This might be something pretty low-key that they aren't trying to make a big deal. That could be very possible, and we end up being disappointed by what this is. I mean, it could literally be just another version of like the SNES app, and it's like, hey, play Mario Kart for us, and we'll get the data from your playtest with a Super Mario Kart on SNES. Like that, it could be that basic and that boring on the on the surface, but even then that could still end up, you know, translating to better servers, better connections and all that. So even that would still be like pretty exciting. Either way, this is exciting on some level because it means they are trying to actively improve the Switch Online experience. But let me know your thoughts. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch news, reviews, coverage, all of that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Check out my other collecting channel at It's Amiibo. And until next time, folks, peace.